Well, what began on the 21st of September, we were full of anticipation for what was going to be a bright and beautiful season that came ahead. And what we're now today, 28 weeks later, we've been through it all. We've seen the best, we've seen the worst. The injuries, the weather, and everything's led down to this one day. Final round of the AIL 2C season, round number 18. The reverse from round 1, Dolphin versus Bruff here in Virgin Media Park today. And it's going to be an absolute belter. It's a perfect day for rugby in the sun. There's a strong blusterly wind now, in fairness. And we're going to see, as it's going to be a real game at two halves, which will make it exciting for both sides to see how both teams can use it. But joining me today in the commentary box, I'm delighted to have Seamus from Bruff. So you're very welcome.
Thank you. Great to be here at this stage of the season.
I'd say for yourselves, it's delighted to be safe and sound, no matter what going on after some earlier troubles.
Yeah, as you said, we had troubles early in the season. We started with 3 losing bonus points, 3 very close games, including the first one against Dolphin. We went on a bit of a slippery slope. Then we lost a good few games, but we managed to turn it around then come the end of November with a win over Tullamore, and we picked up 4 wins on the bounce in Tullamore and Omagh home and away. So that gave us a little bit of breathing space up to last weekend, really, when we got the valuable losing bonus point, which made us safe.
The confirmation, absolutely. So it's going to be, I know many say there's nothing to play for in a game like this for yourselves, but I always find, I was chatting to a few guys before, and you always make something to play for. So if you can disrupt something, you do your absolute best, and I'm sure the lads are out to do that today.
Well, I think we owe it to the league that we, go out and put our best foot forward. We have, as we were discussing earlier, had a lot of close games this year, 7 losing bonus points, 1-score games where they could have gone either way. So, we've, as we said, look, we owe it to the league to put the best foot forward today and, give Dolphin a big test as big as we can give them.
And when you mention bonus points, it's like I say, you're safe and everything now, but if we actually look at it, it's one of the tightest divisions across the league. And we'll just get up in the stream after to have a quick look at it myself again. Going in today, there's plenty of permutations around, because as we see up the top, we still have to play for promotion for the championship. You've got Middleton and Escorty battling up between themselves. We'll give you score plates for those 2 games because they can affect us as well. Middleton heading away to Monkstown and then Escorty away to Belfast Harlequins. But also we got to look at the bottom end of the table. Tullamore and Omagh both in a fight for the relegation playoffs. Really, both of them, 2 of them are fighting for the way to go down. But excitingly, I suppose more importantly for us in Dolphin is there's 5 teams still going for those top 4 playoff spots. Enniscorthy, ourselves, Ballyclare, Monkstown, and Clonmel. Now we're safe from Clonmel, but we could still finish as low as 5th, or we could potentially go as high as 2nd. So We'll look at the positive side of things. I know today if we can rack up our full 5 and then Escorty can't get a win or fail to win, then we'll go 2nd. But if they get a point and we get our 5, or if we get 4 and they get nothing, there's a 66-point swing. So there's still all to play for. It's very, very tight. And it's been a great league all season with how competitive it's been. And I'd say it's going to be, ties up for today, it's going to be a cracker of a game. I was going through the stats just to see, you mentioned your tough start, but even for ourselves, we've made this place a bit of a fortress this season, and it's been a great one to have. 8 games, 7 games, 6 wins and 1 draw, D6 with the bonus points. It's our best ever points haul at home for a season, matching the 07-08 season where they were unbeaten all season at home. But hopefully we'll go one better and get one more today. So we'll see how we go from there. But we'll have a quick look, I suppose, for lineups. The big thing realistically for the Dolphin side of the things, and it was the main talking point for ourselves, is a big man starting today at hooker is going to be Dave Byrne, making his own 100th appearance for the club. Just the 15th man to do so, and he'll be joining an illustrious team of players, one of only 6 guys to actually play across all 5 divisions, 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B and 2C. Alongside him in the front row, actually, the big thing for us is it's the first time this season we've got a completely unchanged side from the team that won away in Omagh last week, which was it was our first back-to-back away victory since 2019, which shows our form isn't always greatest away, but it doesn't matter when we're at home today. Our average points at home, when we look at going through the stats again, I think the predicted scoreline from our stats man today is going to be 37-15 win to Dolphin. The average points conceded away from Bruff and the average points scored at home from Dolphin. He's giving me the little thumbs up. He's very happy with that one.
Will Paddy Power stand over that?
I'd say there's an evens odds. It's what I hear anyways. We'll put a 5 on. I'd say there's a few guesses of scores trying to give people in the clubhouse in the pre-match lunch a little whisper in the ear, see if they can win some big money. But going through the team sheets for today anyways, you got Finn Cowie got 1, Dave Byrne at 2, Dalton O'Shaughnessy has finally completed his conversion, has gone down to prop. His second game now, he had a brilliant game last week up in Oma, 2 tries, and very, very difficult to stop now. In the second rows, you got Brian O'Mahony and Owen Sheehan. 6, Richie Heaslip, Conor Drummy at 7, finally burst into the squad about halfway through the season, and it's great to see him hold on to his spot. And at number 8 is the ever-reliable, ever-incredible John Fitzgerald, who came back after a long layoff with injury and finally battled his way back into the team. And as we've seen, our ever-present backline, which has been very strong this season. At 9, Ryan Foley. 10, Cameron O'Shaughnessy. 11, Dara Buckley. 12, Craig O'Connell. 13, Scott Sexton, who's been in great form actually. I think he scored in the last 3 matches. 14, Carl Waterman. And our fullback today, Jordan Soley, who we're going to give a special mention to because his incredible form this year. He's got 157 points for the club this season. I think 1 more point and he'll be 5th for the most points in the season for the club. I'm going to read through my stats now. He's just 1 conversion off setting the record for most conversions in the season for the club, currently held by our own Darryl Foley. He did that twice. But more importantly, going through the stats, he's tied 5th for most points across all 5 divisions in the AIL with 157, just 3 points off 3rd, with and 2nd in 2C. Only Joey O'Connor bettering him. Might be tough ask to get to 196, but we'll back him today in a pitch. With this weather and this pitch, we'll back him for it. The subs for today for Dolphin now, I would say there's a couple of changes. I don't even know what they are myself, so I'll give you my best guess estimate from what I've been from my sources. 16 will be Jack Fox, Phil Elwood also on the bench, James Vaughan, Darrell Sullivan and Sam Boyle. But I shall update if there's any changes to that. And Seamus, would you mind going through this Bruff team for us today?
I can, of course. So, front row is made up of Kieran Cronin, Michael Frawley and Kieran O'Dwyer. Again, probably ever present for most of the games this year. Kieran Cronin did ship a couple of injuries earlier on the year, but great to see him back in form again. In the second row, Tom O'Dwyer and Brendan Gleeson. The back row then changed from last week, says Mark Kennedy come into the starting line out with Killian Ray dropping to the bench. Killian has been nursing a number of injuries this year, so again he's kind of managing himself towards as we hit the end of the season. 7 is John Sheehan and 8 Michael Cook, who is in his 11th season of senior rugby, so by far and away the most experienced player out there. Number 9 we've got Sean Kilbridge. At 10 we see John Bateman and Paul Collins switch between 10 and 15. Bateman is a good running player and I think the ground today will suit him at 10. In the centres we've got Conor Fitzpatrick and Andrew Byrne. Andrew Byrne is making we estimate his 210th senior rugby game today, right? So he's our player coach for the last couple of years there and has been a great addition to our backline. The wing scenes, Clem McAuliffe and Shane Duggan. Shane Duggan is joint second try scorer and he's looking to take the top spot today while Killian is on the bench. So on the bench then, as we said, we've Killian Ray at 16, Fionn Flanagan 17. Aidan Carroll will be making his senior AIL debut today at 18. We've got Declan Moriarty, number 19, and Ben Tucker comes into the bench instead of Mark Fitzpatrick, we understand, but we'll confirm that before kick-off or when the changes are made.
And looking there just at our try scorers, as we see Dave Byrne coming out for the 100th cap. He's definitely earned his legend status around the clubhouse DB, and it's great to see him come out today with the jersey, well and truly deserved. He'll be looking to add to his 4th try tally for the club today, and hopefully he'll get some. We've had some great form from our hookers this season. I think he's the 5th man to start at hooker for us this season. But speaking on our topic of tries, the big man for us to look out for on tries is going to be Craig O'Connell. He's in a big battle with himself. He came out the gates flying at the start of the year, scoring that first game against Bruff, and it gave him 9 tries in the first half of the season. But he's not scoring the last 5 games now, has Craig, and he's just one off Chuckin's record for 10 in a season. So I'm sure he's eyeing that one up. And the other two or three fellas we'll look at actually would be Cameron O'Shaughnessy, Dara Buckley, and Scott Sexton, who have been in flying form try scoring wise. Cam and Craig sharing the 2nd and 3rd spot at the minute. It's a bit back and forth now between the two lads going for their 2nd and 3rd most tries for the club in history, so I'd say they'll be looking to finish the season strongly, we'll say.
I remember that try that Craig scored below on Bruff. I think it was probably the decisive score of the game. He took a crash ball off the back of the line out and finished as well. Big, strong, powerful man. We'll have our hands full today. We'll have Connor and Andrew in the middle of the field trying to keep him quiet, but they'll definitely have their hands full trying to stop him on the gain line.
We'll be hoping to see loads of tries anyway today. We always get them here in Virgin Media Park. This season has been a record for Dolphin with 62 tries, the most we've ever had in the one season. So we're going to hopefully on average, I think the stats would say we're inclined for a couple more. So I think we've had 6 bonus points this season at home, so hopefully today will become number 7. So yeah, we see the both teams out. We're getting ready for a kickoff. It's sure to be an exciting game. So we'll see now once the referee blows his whistle, we'll be ready for action. Be number 15, Paul Collins. You were saying there, swapping back and forth. It will be interesting to see how they go. The wind against them in the first half, Bruff. You can see that from the big swirl very early on. And Jordan Soley will take that one in for the first carry of the day. And we'll see now how quickly both sides can settle in. It's been a fast start in the majority of games so far this season, and the pitch will really help. And I'd say that wind will allow for a little bit of uncertainty. So we'll see how the players adapt. We'll give him time. Ryan Foley with his first chance. Get boot to the ball. Brings that one very high, and with the sun as well, it's going to be tough to take, and I reckon it's gone forward off the hands of number 12. So first spoil's going in the favour of Dolphin.
Unlucky there for Conor Fitzpatrick. I think he just got caught with that wind. The ball is shifting a good bit, as we can see already. So yeah, the wind is going to have a big bearing on the game today. And I think as we look at the flags in the 4 corners, it seems to be blowing 4 different directions, but predominantly into the stand here where we've got the camera set up. So interesting to see how the tactical kicking game goes today for both sides.
Yeah, it's a tough one to tell, so we'll see how it evolves. First put into the scrum now for today. It's been a very different pack for Dolphin throughout the season. Very, very different actually from the one that started this first game at the beginning of the year. We had I think it was 8 debutants that season. 7 of them playing today, and Owen Sheehan and Dara Buckley and Scott Sexton, the only ones who have played all 17 games so far this season, with Scott being on the bench once, the other 2 starting him. But Jordy took his time there to carry that one in. Now as Dolphin are up to that 10 metre line, chance for him to set some kind of carry. Good carry there now from Finn Cowig. See, going to go open side. Craig O'Connell on the ball, become a lot more of a distributor in the latter half of the season. Cameron Shockley slipped to the floor though, and unfortunately the penalty's gone against him because there was no one with him, and so Bruff will have a chance to clear their lines now.
Good opportunist there from Conor Fitzpatrick. He saw the opportunity, got the ball. Interestingly, Mark Kennedy has started well there. He's made the first 2 hits for Bruff. He made it from the kickoff, and he made the hit there on Jordy as he came into the line. So good start for Mark. He's seen a lot of game time this year. First real year of senior rugby after coming out of Glenstall last year. So good to see him getting into the game early.
And a good boot there as well from Paul Collins, brings play up to that Dolphin 22 metre line. So the team's just starting to get to know each other. Not the fastest starts now we're used to, but it's a good chance for the set pieces just to kind of suss each other out and figure out where they are for this year. We can see already they're going for a short man. 5-minute line, or is it 4-man line out? Oh no, we're going for the 5. We can see the prop coming in late. Opting short. I think we might go for a short little maul here from Bruff, but Dolphin tried to get the sack, didn't work as effectively as they would have wanted, but it's gone to ground now anyways. It's going to be taken in by Michael Frawley, and Bruff have a chance now to put some faces together. They're going to go around the corner again now. Up to me there was John Fitzgerald, looks to be hands in there immediately from Dave Byrne, and he's won the penalty. Sorry, not Dave Byrne, it was Dalton O'Shaughnessy.
Yeah, good line out there from Bruff. Tom O'Dwyer taking it on the front. Nice connection with Mike Frawley, but as you said, look, just a bit too slow to the breakdown there, and good turnover for Dolphin. You know, I suppose we got to make the most of these red zone entries. When we get in here, we got to be looking to pick up the points from a Bruff perspective.
Brilliant kick there from Jordy. Ebbing and flowing so far now. Dolphin have their own line out for the first one for today. It's been a strong maul from this season, but we haven't seen much of it in the last couple of matches. There was a couple of hints of it now against Clonmel a couple of weeks ago. We'll see now if the wind will be in their favour today. Again, going for the short one of their own. Richie Heatham goes up and takes that one nice and cleanly. So a good platform now for Dolphin, and Craig O'Connell's going to carry this through the battering ram he is, and he's made some great yards there. He's always going to get you on front foot ball. Around the corner is Brian O'Mahony. He's going to make some work as well. Fast ball coming from Dolphin, trying to spread that wide, but unfortunately it's not going to hand this occasion. It looks like Scott Sexton's going to be there to pick up loose ball. Bruff going to try and march him into touch, but it's loose and it's come back on a Bruff side, I think. Or it's swapped back over to a Dolphin hand. It's going to be Carl Waterman the ball. Ever elusive is Carl Waterman. No one knows who's going to go. Neither does he. Chance here for some wide option for Dolphin. Craig O'Connell gives a little switch back with Cameron O'Shaughnessy. Brian O'Malley on the ball. He's going to try and straighten up, is he? Two men take him down, a third man now inside that 22. About 10 minutes short of that line now. Chance for Dolphin really to put a big hit. Nice tip on there. Richie Heesop takes that one in. Options left and right for Ryan Foley. He goes to Finn Cowig on his own. Craig O'Connell's going to be over that one just to seal it off, I'd say. Interference with 9's been turned over, and it's going to be advantage, I think, for a knock on. So incredibly timed there from Bruff, and Dolphin have missed an opportunity there. No chance to clear their lines. But that wind is taking the kick, and it's not the best clearance, but an absolutely fantastic take from the stands.
Again, great set by Mark Kennedy. Got 2 tackles in that set. John Bateman already shown well as well. Pity on the far side there. Bruff had a turnover one, but knocked it on. And great play from Dolphin to go touchline to touchline, open up that space. And I guess probably a bit unlucky with that spill.
I think that was it was Ben, one of the under-20s, who caught that one cleanly. I reckon they should get him on the pitch with hands like that. Variation this time as Dolphin go for the maul from the line out. Settle nicely now. Edging towards that touchline. Ryan Foley comes in now to try and take a bit more of a command with it. And it's out, and it's in the hands of Finn Cowig. So now Dolphin on that 22-metre line. Secure ball, Bruff often to leave it. Cameron Shoxey tries to delay that pass as much as he can. He bounces off his man, but I think he's lost it. And again, it's another little handling error starting to creep into the game, which
John Sheehan there again with the early hit, no relation, but John has been phenomenal this year for us. He's probably got the biggest engine on the park, bar none, in the Bruff jersey. So again, look, our back row getting into the game early, a lot of defending to do so far, but good to see our 6 and 7 getting involved early on and getting those hits in.
Absolutely, and they've given some great bit of confidence to be surviving this early on. Dolphin trying to just putting in their first couple of hits and Bruff standing up to them. First score is always crucial just to settle the nerves. So now, ball into the scrum now. We'll see. It's a strong, but it's gone off the back for Bruff, and they've kicked that ball clear, and it's going to have time now for Jordan Soley. See what he can do with it. He's going to try and step. He's going to take him on. He's been an incredible player this year, Jordy, over from New Zealand for the one season. He'll be missed, but he's sure to make the most of his impact and will get us as far as he can. Carl Waterman on the ball that time off his wing onto the far side. And it's been ripped on this occasion, and Bruff on the ball again, but looks like Owen Sheehan's well on the floor to get that, but it's done so illegally, so it's going to be a penalty to Bruff.
I think that was Conor Fitzpatrick there again with his second turnover of the game. So again, you know, we're going Bruff going well on the ground there. The ground game seems to be working well for us today.
Good yardage on that kick as well. Absolutely, I agree with that. I think that's between the 2 knock-ons and that penalty there, they're really doing well to disrupt in the tackle here, Bruff. It's going to become a very crucial thing as to how much tackle dominance they can get, and just making sure it gets clean ball really helps for fast play style, which Dolphin have really used this season. You can saw once they can spread that ball wide, they can do damage. When they're pulling it from side to side, you're bound to make a gap in the middle, just find some kind of mismatch. Almost to the hands there. Dalton tries to come through and he's end up with the ball in hand. I think it was Zaka, but Dalton's away. He's going to run from that halfway line, is he? He's going to get towards that 22-metre line before he's brought to ground. Now Dolphin are meant to support him. A chance here. Great ball to the third man. Brian O'Malley carries that one. Good 5 metres with that ball now. Chance here wide. Craig O'Connell, he's going to distribute it. No, he's going to carry it himself. Eventually gets the pass off. It's out towards Jordan Soley. He's going to bring it in. He's going to be just a metre short, is he? And he's over Jordan Soley. Great bit of opportunistic work. Started from Dalton O'Shaughnessy, finished from Jordan Soley.
Unfortunately, you can't cough up that line-out ball to a team like Dolphin. You know, show great ability there to recycle the ball, get quick ball and move it through the hands. We were, you know, scampering there to defend, and good try out wide.
Absolutely lovely bit of footwork in the tackle, just to dance around and make sure he gets that front foot, and the work rate just to get that final touchdown was incredible. 162 points for him for the season now. I think that's 6 tries for himself this season, Jordy. 7 tries, in fact, actually. He's now our second highest try scorer this season, so he'll love that stat now after the match. And as ever, his family votes and watching these streams, so I'm sure they're very, very happy to watch that one. But it must be said that all came from an incredible work rate from Dolphin. Was shocked to see just to follow through on that line out. A great 20-metre break from him. He'd be sure to watch that one over and over. And a beautiful, beautiful kick there from Jordy. Adds the extras. Dolphin get the first score. They lead now 7 points to 0.
Yeah, Bruff will be looking for a quick response here. I think our first kick-off went pretty well. We managed to force Dolphin into a box kick out of their own 22, so we'll need something like that again with the wind here, try and disrupt Dolphin when we get in there.
It's a great effort actually from the touchline, given the wind from Jordy. Great high ball. It's going to put Bucks under pressure in this kickoff, but it's gone backwards anyways. I thought he had taken it cleanly, but it's on. Cameron's with Shoxy now. Cameron danced around one. He's got a chance for an offload. He does, and it's just gone to hand. Unbelievably well. Great sport there from John Fitz. Craig O'Connell at this time. He's going to try carry it on his own. He was a strong carry in the early part of the season. He became much more of a distributor in the latter part, but it's good to see him mixing up his game as Craig there. He stands in at 9 this occasion now. John Fitz takes that one in. Dolphin just getting themselves set up again now. Fincowg the ball back door to Craig. Bruff are watching it well, and they're really doing well to try and cut off those offloads. It's where they're dangerous most with the support in the shoulder. Foley goes long. I'm going to watch that bounce now. Carl Waterman following up, but it looks to be on the far side, and Bruff will opt to go for a bit of a kick tennis, I'd say. Again, knocked backwards into the hands of Cameron. He goes for a kick of his own. He's going to hang this one now, but who's going to be chasing it? And that bounce will find its way into touch as well.
Good kick there and chase from John Bateman. I think we'll be reasonably happy with that return. Forcing Dolphin to kick from there. Dolphin, we know they're a good strike running team, so the more we can get Dolphin to kick out of there, the better for us, right? The early few minutes of the game, we had a bit of an arm wrestle going on there, and that probably suits us a little bit better. But good opportunity now for Bruff to attack from here.
A nice net gain as well from Dolphin. I think that original kick came from the 10-metre line, so to have gotten a good 20-metre bump, they'll be very happy with that. You can see Craig O'Connell just taking a little rest for a second, getting a bit of treatment. Some early scores around for us to keep an eye on. Nothing of significance to us anyways. Middleton, Monkstown and Belfast and Escorty are still no score with them. But Clonmel have taken an early lead against Omagh, and Ballyclare currently lead Tullamore 7 points to 3. So they'll have some implication down the bottom. I think it still stays as is, but we'll keep an eye on it and let you know as it goes on. Good effort there from Owen Sheen to steal it, but Bruff have managed to set that maul. But I think Owen might have just got enough to get in the hand and to kind of disrupt it. I think the referee said so. It's been done illegally, and Bruff have an advantage. But a lovely little dummy there, and away goes the Bruff 9. He's got a man outside him. He's going to use him. I think he's going to make it all the way. Is he? Jordy to bring him down, but he's going to be over. Brilliant score from Bruff.
Sean Kilbridge there with the line break. Great break down the blind side. The referee had to hand out for an advantage to Bruff after a good line-up, and great support line by Shane Duggan in for his, I think, 5th or 6th try of the season. Again, some of the Bruff lads, the ground here today will suit them probably a bit better than what they had during the year. Great to see Shane with that follow-up after that break from Sean.
I tell you, that's a contender for try of the week or try of the month for Bruff if he have that. Lovely bit of work from the 9. The little dummy to go blind and sell on Ryan Foley, and the step inside, and he just drew in the man, and a great finish down in the corner. So be a tough ask from this distance with the wind, but he's got a strong boot now, does Paul Collins, so we'll see what he can do with it.
Yeah, Paul has been very good off the tee this year, and very good out of hand the last few games in particular. He's kicked us around the pitch very well up in Belfast in particular with the win a couple of weeks ago. Strongest part of his game is his place kicking, so 50-50 here.
Oof, just shy. I thought for a moment he was going to get it. It was a brilliant effort, in fairness to him. Adapted very well for the win, but just not enough. So that's a very fast response from Bruff. They'll be very happy with that as well, I'd say, not to fall too far behind too early. So 7-5 now to Dolphin. And Jordy gets us back underway very, very quickly. Good high ball. See the wind's affecting us in the comm box more than the match. You can really tell how much of an impact it's having today. Bruff take that one in anyways, and they'll be setting themselves to get a bit of a clearance. Looked a bit of a high shot there from Fincowg, but I reckon he'll get away with it. inside the 22, and I'll get that ball clear. And again, there'll be time now for Jordy just to make his decision. He's got cameras outside. He's going to go for the boot himself. Dings it high. He's going to be on the chase himself. Just misses it. And it was a great take there from the 10. And now Bruff will have a chance to counter their own.
That was John Bateman. We were there with the take. Great catch. He's been very good under the high ball all year. John Sheehan here with the carry. Looks like a rip in the tackle.
Yeah, look, I reckon that was backwards. The referee's in his favour. But Finn Cow goes over that one. Just can't get it. Bruffer starting to look a bit blind, just trying to find a few mismatches, all right, and it's working, but it's going to be brought back for... Is it a penalty advantage? It must have been.
Not quite sure what the referee is signalling. I thought it was a short arm from him, but we'll see. We'll see now. Yeah, he's giving the knock on.
Normally on a knock on you can see... as you can hear the crowd complaining, the two biggest Dolphin voices you'd always hear, Dee McCarthy and Ger Hodge. Normally you'd always see the scrum advantage, knock-on advantage. Once the kick comes, he'd give it away, but he's brought it back on this occasion. I suppose nothing came from it.
Let's see what Bruff bring here in terms of the strike play. It's going to be hard to pass the ball today against that wind, so it'll be interesting to see Bruff's first opportunity to get the set piece going and see what we can do off it.
It's a solid scrum from both sides. Blind Wing coming in, it's a good strike play, but it didn't really come to fruition, and Ryan Foley's over trying to disrupt that, and he's given away the penalty, I think, for his not releasing.
I think he would have been okay when his elbows hit the ground. I think he was okay other than that. Bit worrying for Bruff in that contact there. That's the third time maybe Dolphin have an opportunity on the ball without a Bruff player there to clean over it. Shane Duggan gave the pop there to Conor Fitzpatrick, but I think the back row were MIA there. They were a bit too slow to the breakdown for my liking.
Collins is proven ever clinical with his boot anyway so far.
Lineout so far today going okay for Bruff. I think we've lost 1-2 in the front. It's been hit and miss really, to be honest, during the year. When we've got it right, we've gone very well. Our maul has gone very well during the year. Again, particularly in the second half of the year. But again, it's all about hitting the target first, getting the first piece of the jigsaw together.
It's the basics first, as you say. All right, we've Dolphin have been very good at stealing them so far this year. Owen Sheen's been very good. The other key man has been Matt Barry, who we've been missing for the last number of weeks through injury. He would love to be in a game like this now, and looks to be the free kick to Dolphin.
Yeah, I think Bruff came over the 5 there. John Sheehan was nearly 3 yards from the touchline when he took it, so not allowed, I'm afraid.
So Jordy will, I assume, get that ball off the pitch and just nudge Dolphin away up again. Great boot there from Jordy again. And brings play back into the Bruff half. Of
course, it's a Bruff line out here now, having been a free kick, so let's see again, can we sort out this line out and win our first phase ball? Let's see how it goes.
They do very well. Richie was very close to that one, but just got up, I think, a second or two too late, and Bruff have set them all here. Dolphin just, I suppose, disrupting their ability to get going fast. And a shorter kick this time from the box, but it might work handy. Who's on there for the bounce? Cameron Shoxey on that ball, but looks to be a penalty to Dolphin.
Yeah, pushing the back there by Mikey Cook, I think. Took out number 24 there.
Yeah, John Fitzgerald wearing 24. Dolphin haven't retired the number 8 jersey come into this year. Unfortunately, due to the tragic passing of our ever-present number 8, Craig O'Hurley, back in August. And just as we mentioned, Craig, as John Fitz is down, Donuts is an incredible player for us. As we see as the year went on, we got a new set of jerseys with our donut on the sleeve. Just is always remembered, and it was lovely gesture as well in the lunch today. President Diesel McCarthy just awarding that number 8 jersey as a presentation to the O'Hurley family. We're going to have it framed and put up in the clubhouse because he's always with us, and we always know he's there, and we all miss him. Jordy has been brilliant. Both, I must admit now, both kickers have been very good today. The wind may be against them, but it seems to be going all sorts of directions. So it's a powerful boot will really do well for you, and it's proven well for both of them so far.
Yeah, I think that turnover, maybe the box kick, mightn't be going as well today as we would expect. A couple of hooks there from Sean, but I'm sure he'll sort it out. He's an accomplished footballer and plays senior football in Limerick, so he'll fix that.
Touch forward there, I think, but a nice little switch back there between John Fitz and Craig O'Connell. Dolphin have that one now set up. Richie Heesip on the ball. He's been a big man since he stepped in. Still very young as Richie, but an incredible player. Cameron Shock sees a gap in behind. He goes for the boot this time. Don't think Carl Waterman expected, but he's going to follow through anyways. And he's made his tackle. Pressure now from Jordan Soley as well. Can Dolphin get something from this, can they? Bruff looked to have just about secured it though. And be under pressure now to get that ball clear.
Great work there from winger Clem McAuliffe to go back and clean out Paul Collins, who had carried it into contact. And Bruff, we see here, penalty for a high tackle.
Yeah. And we're quickly seeing this game become one of, I suppose, of mistakes really. Just those little margins, I suppose, those little errors as they creep into a game. You don't want to let them run the game. You'd love a nice flow, but it's going to be crucial that both sides really kind of tidy up on them between the knock-ons and the penalties. And when I mentioned small errors, there's another one now, not finding his touch and a chance for Dolphin to counter-attack. I'll finish my point in a moment. Now Cam brings over the halfway line. He takes his first contact. Dolphin look to be going left away again. Craig O'Connell carries that one in, gets the offload towards Brian O'Mahony. Lovely little sunny bit out the back. Foley over that one, just controlling his players. Looks right and then decides to go left. Owen Sheehan carries that one. Or Drummy, I should say. Sorry, Conor Drummy. Now John Fitz tries to, bit of magic feet, gets him an extra yard in that tackle. Cameron on the ball again. Is going to fan it out. Oh, just dropped, I think, from Scott Sexton.
Great pressure there from the Bruff defence. Conor Fitzpatrick made the first tackle here in the middle of the field, and some good defence out wide here. Not sure who made that hit on the far side, but judging by the reaction, I'd say probably Andy O'Byrne or Clem McAuliffe. I'm not quite sure who got it, but yeah, plenty of pressure, good line speed there from Bruff. As we said, look, hard to pass the ball across the field here. Dolphin were under pressure with their passes there. I guess it allowed Bruff that extra half a second to get off the line and put pressure on those passes.
Yeah, both sides really playing a bit of heads-up rugby today. I'm seeing Ryan Foley just controlling that game, keep an eye just as to where Bruff are potentially lacking, where there could be a little mismatch, a little fast play. What's crucial is just those support lines from Dolphin as well, the offloads. It's where you form your gaps just off the shoulder. Solid scrum there again from both sides. Looks to be turning a little bit, but Bruff just about have it under control. And cause of a knock-on, but it looked to be safe there, I'd say. Bruff now going to see what they can do with this attack. Again, another ball inside, a little tip on, secured that ruck, and I reckon they're going to go back left again. Dolphin have their defensive line set, but is there a number out wide with the skip pass? I think there is. It's going to bring it over that 10-metre line now, in towards, or over the halfway, just towards that 10-metre line. Bruff on the chance at the corner and a kick. Nobody home there now, but I reckon there might be a bit too much on it with the wind. And I'd say, unfortunately, yeah, that's going to go dead, and it's going to come all the way back for a scrum to Dolphin on the 10-metre line. Great
release out the back there from Tom O'Dwyer in the middle of the field onto Paul Collins, and Paul Collins with what I thought was a flat pass. Some may argue, but I guess it's all about perspective. But I said, look, the box kicks again, another one gone astray there. I think that's 3 that's probably gone astray today. So, something maybe the Bruff team will need to talk about at half time and tidy up.
Absolutely, but we're really starting to see this, the game plan from both sides. Bruff are really looking to spread Dolphin with the kicks. They've had their couple of box kicks. They're trying to vary them between short and long. That one, there's a good idea, nobody home, but I suppose that close to the touchline, unless you had your chaser ready to go, just didn't get the output he was expecting really. So just getting ready to get started again. A little stop for a shoelace. But as I said, again, it's those little errors that are going to be crucial, because as the game creeps on, you don't want the referee to be controlling it too much. You want a nice free-flowing game, and you really want both teams to kind of back their game plan rather than making mistakes. Just looking around, actually, we've got some big score updates. Enniscorthy currently lead Belfast Harlequins 12-0 in the battle for the top 2. Middleton looking comfortable, actually 22-12 leaders over Monkstown, so that could be the title wrapped up for them today. Big hit there on Scott Sexton. Putting against him. Dolphin folding around the corner, going to go left. They've got hands on here, they're going to go for it. Richie Heesip decides to carry it in that occasion. Fanning out wide now. Will Cam go for the long pass? No, he goes for the boot. And I'd say it's unfortunate. It's a knock on though, and the referee's seen that. It's a big cheer from the crowd. Big numbers here who fall on from lunch. We're seeing them all along the touchline. It's great to see them all out here, and just forcing the error. Again, error is going to be crucial. I suppose it's a bit tougher to anticipate the ball with the wind, really. I suppose
Yeah,
you never
that
know.
was very unlucky there from Clem McAuliffe. John Bateman came up on the line here, put pressure on Dolphin, forced him to kick. It would have been the ideal scenario if Clem had gathered that ball. There was a bit of open field in front of him, but Clem will bounce back from that. Good player, really young. Second season in senior rugby, so he's accomplished himself quite well for the last couple of seasons, so he'll bounce back from that. As we see a couple of changes there, Mike Cook is off for Killian Ray and Kieran O'Dwyer is off for Fionn Flanagan.
Yeah, Bruff opting for the bench very early, keep the rotation going. I suppose coming up with all the excuses, we'll give him a bit of the wind. It's hard to anticipate the ball. I know we had Bushmill sponsoring a little help from little whiskey shots in our lunch. I wondered did a couple of players get that, just not helping their concentration. Again, Craig O'Connell bursting through that first tackle, but the offload when he attempted just gone forward and knocked on, so Bruff will have another put into the scrum.
Yeah, I think as you mentioned earlier on, Bruff are really getting into that passing channel really well. I don't know, is that something tactical they spoke about during the week, but they're really, working hard to cut off those offloads. We've seen the danger of Dolphin, we've seen it firsthand in Bruff, and we've seen quite a few games on the live stream as well, so good to see, our background particular there, John Sheehan got into that passing channel there and prevented that offload. Great line break again, of course, by Craig, big man, hard man to stop.
Absolutely, it's great to see him back to more of his old self now again. I know he had a shoulder injury, kept him out for a while, but he's a very, very strong carrier. He's like a bowling ball when he gets going. He always sucks in two men. It's a great tool to use. I suppose Dolphin at this early stage won't be the happiest with their performance, just little errors, but a good bit of work there. Worker from Cameron Shoxey. Is he going to run into the corner? Is he? Yes, he will. Cameron Shoxey is over. And when we say they make something from nothing, I've said all year, it's a little thing. We saw it over in the corner with Geordie, and we see it there. Cameron Shoxey, incredible work. And it's all just work rate and little errors, and we got to give all full credit to Cameron. The chase down, the block. 23 tries now for Cameron O'Shaughnessy. His 7th, I believe, of the season. He's going to be very happy, and he's going to be himself and Geordie at this stage going to be hunting down Craig O'Connell, really. Just two tries off him.
Yeah, Paul will be disappointed with that block down. Good steady scrum. Sean Kilbridge gave it out there to Paul, and normally he's very precise with those, particularly with the wind. He knew where he wanted to go, but as you said, good pressure there. From Ryan, was it? Or Cam?
From Cameron O'Shaughnessy.
Yeah, good pressure, and he got his just rewards for that chase.
You can see the wind having its effects. All right, it's going to be a tough one to keep stuck through that tee. I was about to give full credit to Geordie. He nearly got it, but it won't matter. In the previous attempt, it was already enough to bring him to 42 conversions. So the most conversions scored in the season for the club.
I think we can give a bit of credit there to Conor Fitzpatrick and Clem McAuliffe as well for the chase. Put pressure on him, really made him, I think, force it towards the end. But yeah, hell of an effort against the wind.
Jeez, you can really tell you're a Bruff man, aren't you? But in fairness, just giving credit to not only to Cameron, but to the rest of the Dolphin team. They're just ever so slightly adapting to their game. You can see Bruff have been using the wind and trying to kick it as much as possible, and Dolphin just adapting their defensive line just to put that pressure on the kick. As they take that one inside the 22, Ryan Foley will take his time now and put boot to ball and try find his touch. He goes a bit lower this time to make sure of it, and he does very well, almost catching the winger off guard, and finds his touch just inside the Dolphin half. We're saying it's subtle mistakes. Dolphin haven't put together a clean platform for themselves yet, but they're showing signs. They're ever dangerous on the counter. You have to be aware of them, and we've seen them threatened so far, and there are a couple of times now they've gotten their 2 scores, but we'll see them tear open Bruff if they get a chance just to put a couple more phases together without making a couple of mistakes. So we'll see how both teams evolve, and hopefully they'll, I suppose, clean up as the game goes on. And as we say, clean up, a brilliant bit of work there from Richard Heatham to seal that line out. And Cameron Shoxey's going to go for the boot himself. Brings it very, very high indeed. Not much of a chase on it, but you don't need a chase when the ball's that high. Pressure there for the 10, but he's done very well himself. He's beaten 1, he's beaten 2. He's now beaten a 3rd. It goes Bateman. He gets the pass away, and unfortunately not gone to hand. Where's that bounce going to go? It's going to be in the hands of Craig O'Connell. So Dolphin now in the hands of the ball, and Ryan Foley goes for the kick. Maybe not going this high in the wind isn't the best idea, but 2 Bruff men underneath that, nobody else with them, so they'll take that one in comfortably. Now, Bruff in possession just in the halfway line. Just about kept in the hands there from Kieran Cronin. He'll bring that one to ground. Dolphin now just set their defensive shape again and just have to sit tight and patient and see how they can disrupt it. A bit of a shoot there, so leaving the ball go wide through the hands of Bruff. Gets the pass away to the hooker. Frawley beats one. Owen Sheehan brings him down. Looks at Craig Conn trying to get in to disrupt that. It's a bit slow, and Bruff will have to work hard now. Play just on that 10 metre line. Goes back, flat pass there, but up to meet him is Brian O'Mahony and DB as well, with a nice double hit just to put him on the back foot. A one-off carry there again. Drummy looks to be getting over that one. Not real clean ball that Bruff would like here, but Dolphin getting the double tackles in, and a great work there, I think, and fantastic stuff there from Conor Drummy. Again, we saw just an isolated runner. Drummy spotted his opportunity immediately on the ball and left there for no option but for the penalty.
Yeah, again, Bruff just not quick enough to the breakdown, and they're going to have to sort that out, otherwise Bruff are going to be on the back foot all day. We did see some great interplay there, the Bruff backs and forwards. Michael Frawley with a great carry out here in the wing. Leaving sort student, great credit to him this year. He's been involved, I think, nearly every game this year. Still only 18 years of age, and a big man and a big player for Bruff this season at such a young age.
In fairness to Bruff, they've been very good at producing their own young talents. Looking through this team sheet, the amount of them, two guys in the front row have represented Munster in the last 2 years. Ireland under 18s as well. We see the 2 guys in the benches. One of the guys in the benches you mentioned is under 18 and a half last season for Bruff, Aidan Carroll. So you've had some great young players coming through, and when you bleed them through, it does reap its rewards. We're seeing that now this year with Dolphin, a nice young squad. A good take again there from Richie Heaslip, one of our own young players, who's really stepped up, and this Dolphin maul is showing its face for the first time today, and Dolphin have advantage now for collapsing that maul, and a chance here for a third, I'd say. They're going to, but equally fantastic bit of defensive work from Bruff. Ball in the hands of Cameron Shoxley now. Where's he going to go? He goes to ground, he decides. Into the hands of Drummy, gets the tip onto Finn Cowig, and Bruff read that one very well, but Scott Sexton not much of a chance here, but he's going to skip round one. He's going to get the pass away, is he? It's going to bounce forward, unfortunately, but we're going to come back for the penalty.
Yeah, a bit untidy there from Bruff in the maul, collapsing the maul, so another work on that we'll have to sort out. We can't keep coughing up penalties like this. I think, I didn't keep count, but I think we're probably on 5 or 6 at the moment.
But we're starting to see a bit of a Dolphin looking just to stretch that ball a little bit. We're seeing that first man is really forcing that tip onto the third man whenever he can, and on that occasion it was very well read by Bruff. And I suppose your risk when you do the tip on is that the first man, you got to make sure he's there to fold round just to get that support man in the ruck, and otherwise he's a bit isolated. So we'll have to be careful that Bruff, ever incredible just to, I suppose, make that hit. But back for the penalty, and we'll have our 5 metres out now, our Dolphin, to go for the line out. We reckon full man maul option is always secured, but a brilliant steal from Bruff there.
Brendan Gleeson with the steal.
Jump on his own, not even need a lifter, just not the best link up between thrower and jumper from Dolphin's point of view. And Bruff now a chance just to clear their lines and get out of the danger zone really here. And it's a good touch found as well.
Great kick by Sean Kilbridge. As said, look, the first 2 maybe gone astray, but he said Sean is a very accomplished footballer, played in the county senior football final in Limerick last year.
Ryan Foley's gone fast though, and the referee decides it's been marked. Don't think nobody, Ryan Foley and Carl Waterman, knew that one was going to go quickly. So unfortunately, if he'd gotten away with that one, he could have made a good 20 yards, I'd say. Carl Waterman, every time he touched that ball, I must say, he's incredibly elusive. He's one of those players that when he gets his hands on the ball, he doesn't know where he's going to go, neither does his opponent. The wind took that one though, it's gone long, but it's into the hands of Cameron Shoxley. Bruff up to meet him, puts him backwards. Dolphin will just try and recycle this one now. We'll set Ryan Foley nice and slow, sets up, DB carries. The wind not really going to help his throws today, but he's going to put in a big shift, as he always does, DB. Foley speeding the pace up a little bit more. Dolphin going to go wide on this occasion. Cameron just trying to spot a gap in behind. Goes more down the middle really than out wide. Not the best kicks. Comfortable now for Collins. He's going to belt that one long. Carl Waterman will have time now just to make up his mind, and I reckon he's going to go for the boot. He's going to try bring up towards the far corner, and unfortunately it's been missed by Shane Duggan. And I reckon that might even be a 50-22. No, just my mistake. It wasn't a 50-22, but it was touched, so it's going to be a Dolphin line-out. Or will it? The referees, the assistants just talking to each other. Great bit of work there from Carl Waterman just to kind of switch the play. I suppose the bounce went in his favour. It's a tough one to pick up when that ball's bouncing towards you.
Absolutely, it could go anywhere. I think Dolphin would probably maybe look back in that and regret not keeping the ball at hand there. They probably had an overlap on the far side and chose to kick it. So, but I look there, they'll be happy enough to be where they are again.
We'll see now. Unfortunately, that one's gone in crooked, and the wind is really starting to affect the lineouts.
Yeah, I think both lineouts are under pressure to win that ball. It was 2 and 4 the only real options at this side of the pitch in particular. 6 is completely out of the question. I think if we get lineouts on the far side, we'll probably see a bit of ball to 6, but 2 and 4 is as far as it can go at this side of the pitch, certainly anyway.
Yeah, we haven't seen much of a two-man at the lineout, two-ball at the lineout, I should say, this season. It's been, I suppose, teams just trying to spread it a little bit more. But it might just be up the jumper a little bit, just see what we can get in, get your basics, then set your platform. Great scrum there from Dolphin though, and Bruff had to react very fast, and they did so. And a little dinking behind, bounce up nicely for Cameron Shoxley. He's going to go on his own. He's going to try hand off that first man. He'll bounce the second man, so will Cam. He'll bounce off the first man again before he's taken to ground. John Fitz nominates himself. He'll go for a strong carry. He takes 2 of them. A dominant carry there from Fitzy. Geordie will step into the 10 channel here. Brian O'Mahony will take the pass off him. Dolphin out just on the good side of the halfway line. A little dinking behind from Geordie. Both teams looking to play that little kicky game. Paul Collins will bring it long. Cameron has time. He'll take it comfortably. And he'll go for the boot himself. And he'll follow it up. And where's that ball going to land? It's going to nobody, but it's going to be a penalty to Dolphin, I think, for disrupting the chase.
Looked a little bit harsh here, I must say. Bruff showing good light speed there in the last couple of phases, get up and really stop Dolphin from going wide. As we said, very hard to pass the ball from this side of the pitch to the far side. So, Bruff capitalising by pushing that line up hard, particularly on the outside. You could see Clem McAuliffe coming up there into the passing line. So, again, forcing Dolphin into that kick in behind.
The Dolphin pack just taking a moment to get themselves out for this line out. Just an update from around. There's been a slight change. I know we had said 22-12 to Middleton against Monks, and that's what we were told, but there's been a change. It's now gone back to being 19-7 to Monkstown. So we're being told it's time off there, so something must have gone on, but we'll keep you up to date. But looking good for us so far, and looking even better for Enniscorthy, in fact. They currently lead Belfast Harlequins 12 points to 5. So as things stand, that gives the title to Enniscorthy, and it means Dolphin will be travelling away to Middleton in 2 weeks' time. Now, Dolphin setting that maul again. It's moving slowly, but it is moving. The referee's finally given his word to Ryan Foley. He's going to get his hand on the ball, and Dolphin will make a play of it here now. Craig O'Connell, Bruff are fast up to meet him, and it's going to be a penalty, and potentially we'll have time off here. It was very well read. I wonder, arguably a bit too well read. I think he may have been a fraction offside. We'll watch the replay. Yeah, we see the 12 shot up very well. I'd say he was offside, but that, just a high hit.
Yeah, John Bateman there with the hit. I suppose, to be fair to him, he's played full back a lot this year, maybe not too familiar with the position. Has played a lot of underage there, but just interchange with Paul Collins for the game today. So look, hopefully it didn't look too cynical, so hopefully nothing too harsh here for John.
I suppose the referee will take his time as Craig goes down, just to have ordered the assistants to make sure he gets all the relevant information. Good to see that Craig's up and moving again though. No damage to him. And we'll see now. He's going to go to the book, so we'll see what colour the card's going to be. Is it going to be yellow or is it going to be red? I'd hope for the sake of the game it'll be yellow. It is. So yeah, Dolphin now will be up a man for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's about right. We're about a minute or two to half time, I would say.
Going off our clock and streamer on 38, but we'll be a couple minutes on top and considering out of time. But it's going to be crucial now. Paul Collins will have to step in for 10 now, with John Bateman is the man going to the bin. But it'll be a big boost here for Dolphin just to try to get one more score before half time to really give themselves a boost going into the break.
Yeah, I suppose, look, the last few minutes, Dolphin have really kind of dominated possession there. So, we've Bruff spent a lot of time on the back foot. So, I think the last line up here, Brendan Gleeson turned it over. So, Bruff will be hoping for more of the same.
They've certainly grown to this game as it's gone on, Dolphin. They've taken a bit more control of it, really, we'll say. Now, a chance to really stamp some authority and put some distance between the teams here. DB would have to throw into this line out, and we'll see. I reckon Richie Heath is going to be the man to go up again. They go off the top fast, so just a little bit of change of play here, and Craig Collins going to barrel that one. He's going to burst through the first one before he's brought to ground. Now Ryan Foley tries to go over that one, keep things fast, and Dalton's going to be on the ball here. He's going to go straight through the middle of them all, and Dalton O'Shaughnessy goes down. Third try in 2 games for Dalton. The two brothers scored today, and it's going to be Dolphin 17, Bruff 5.
Yeah, just before the line out went in there, we saw Dolphin had actually set a full line out, which was, I think, probably the first full line out ahead of the game. You could see their forward stayed wide here. It's obviously a pre-rehearsed play, so Bruff caught napping here on the near side.
A great strike play, in fact, that was from Dalton. I think it looked a bit pre-planned with the hot off the top, and you saw just the dummy line being run from, I think it was Owen Sheehan and Dalton in the back, and as soon as he got that ball, no one was going to stop him from that far out. 2 tries last week against Oma, and I reckon he's going to like starting at 3 with his 3 tries in his 2 starts there.
Yeah, Bruff down to 10 men. That was or down a men for 10 minutes. That's something we're going to have to try and manage the game now for the next 8-9 minutes. And see, keep that scoreboard down as much as possible till we get back to the full complement.
Lovely work there from Jordan Soley, and the extra added to make it 19 points to 5. Just stretching that gap a little bit and putting a bit of space between the two teams. Getting a bit of a dodgy look from our reliable streamer, Paul Geesley, helping us out as always with Relive It. Ever grateful for their support and allowing us to do these live streams. We'll have a look at that, I suppose, later. With the benefit in hindsight, we can look back on that later on and we'll judge to see whether it was actually correct or not. But I'll certainly agree with the officials on this occasion anyways. Jeez, bad to worse there for Bruff. Kickoff going straight into touch. Back for a scrum. We'll have the scrum line option on halfway, I think.
Yeah, I think the last scrum Dolphin probably had the upper hand, so interesting to see how Bruff react here and down a man in the back line. So I'm sure Dolphin will be looking to stretch the Bruff defence here and maybe try and go score off first phase if they can.
Just to mention as well, it's great to see the 2 O'Shaughnessy brothers. I believe I must double check their caps. It's 107 caps today between the 2 brothers. It's their 7th most capped family in the club, the O'Shaughnessy's. And we had another nice little touch in our programme if you want to read into it today. Derry O'Shaughnessy, their grandfather, celebrated his 90th birthday just the other week. Camera on the ball there goes wide to Dara Bucks. Bucks will carry through one. It'll be into 3 men there, and Bruff trying to get hands to disrupt that. And they've done ever so well to disrupt it, and they've won the penalty as well.
I think that's Conor Fitzpatrick's third turnover over today. Really good and strong over the ball. Conor, interestingly, is playing 12 today, but he played most of his underage rugby at 7. So, has a lot of experience, targeting and jackling that ball, and did really well there again. I think it is his third turnover.
Paul Collins, make sure he just finds his touch tight from the angle. And just as we head towards our half time, we'll take a little quick shout out. I know we've had lots going on around the club, and unfortunately our under 18 girls came up short today against Carrick-on-Suir in their semi final. We had a number of Dolphin players involved for the Munster Stags in the rugby league game, which was on just before ours. I'll hopefully get a score update for you later on, see how they got on. We're doing so well, and so I suppose a nice little shout as well to the rest of our club members, a load of them away in La Rochelle. DB, I'd say we'll clip that and give that to DB anyway. It's nice to see a little front row kick going every now and again as he puts the ball into touch for half time, and I can do my shouts later on. But we'll take a breather for a couple of minutes. It's going to be half time here. Dolphin 19, Bruff 5. We'll get going for the second half there now. Jordy gets us underway. He's going to go long. Just outside that 22, Bruff take that one in. So crucially, outside the 22-metre line, we'll see how fast they adjust. They had their couple minutes to have a little chat. I wonder, what do you think coach would be saying to each other, Seamus?
Yeah, look, I suppose the most important thing here to start is to manage the sin bin, right? We're down to 14 men. Good take there by Killian Ray, and it looks like we're setting up here with Sean for the box kick.
He's gone high, and we'll see now how both teams adjust, because it's going to be, as we said at the beginning of our stream today, there's going to be a game of two halves with this wind. So see, both teams will have to adjust and adapt their play styles. And unfortunately, a little bit forced there, I think, and John Fitz knocks on for the first break of play in the second half.
Again, as we did, started in the first half, Mark Kennedy again showing well there, and good line chase as we see Aidan Carroll coming in to make his senior AIL debut. So congratulations, Aidan. Great to see him in. He spent a bit of time with Munster Youths there over the last few years. Very good player, very strong ball carrier, and very good in the contact. So interesting to see how he gets on here against this big Dolphin side.
Be very important as well now, just as we have this first 10 minutes in the second half for Dolphin, just to really put the pressure on and not let up. Really put the pressure on the neck here and just kind of get their bonus point and get it over and done with. But Bruff will have their chances. A nice little kick through again. The kicking game is staying strong as we go into the second half. A little slip there from Jordan Soley, but he's up and moving again. Dolphin has just about secured that ruck anyways and have a chance here, I reckon, in one phase before we'll try and get an exit. Brian O'Mahony is the man who's going to try to take it in. Well secured. You see a little bit of a caterpillar being formed, and Ryan Foley will have a good bit of space now to get that ball clear with the wind in his back. He'll look to drive this one far, I'd say. He brings a good bit of height in that one, but the bounce is going to be to nobody, so chance for a little scrape place. Man's gone to ground anyways, and Dolphin can try over that. Bruff have secured it, and they've got numbers on the outside here if they go wide. They do, but it's been met by Craig O'Connell, and he's really trying to bring him backwards. Ball gone to ground. Bruff still have the numbers on the left. They seem to have more numbers. We'll see what they can do to here. Can they draw a man in? They go wide, but they make a bit of ground, but penalties coming in there now, I think, for a high tackle. And I wonder if the referee's going to have a little bit of time off, and there's going to be some afters here as well.
Yeah, Killian Ray looks to have shipped a bad injury there. I think he got caught with his shoulder in the contact there, so interesting to see how the referee sees this one.
And I think it's just I wonder, is it the same man who had hit Craig high earlier on, has just had a couple of words and got into the mound, got into his head, but we'll see now.
Yeah, I think anything with a head contact, the referee may need to take a decision here. His touch judges are in to have a chat with him, I think, and help him sort out this bit of melee.
We'll see now. Just a little bit of handbags. Happens every now and again. Let the lads get it over with and we'll move on. We'll see now what the referee's interpretation of that is, though. And they'll take a minute now. I know the Bruff man is still down, so the assistants will have their chance to say what they saw. And as we have a little break, we'll just continue my little shout-outs from earlier on. We know of a great contingent from the club over in La Rochelle this weekend for the Munster match. I'm sure they're tuning in over in La Rochelle. We know where their priorities lie in these streams versus the Munster games, those watching from abroad as well. We can see Neo O'Mahony with their congratulations is due for the O'Mahony family. I know Brian and Dave, Brian playing today, Dave involved in the senior squad this year, became uncles last week. As you see, Neo O'Mahony's been watching all the matches this season. Been a real nice boost to see her always in the chat she puts in today. A big congratulations on the birth of baby Lily.
And while we're going through the shout-outs, I want to wish our ladies team the very best tomorrow. They're playing the Division 2 Cup final in UL. They've had a great season to date, and they're hoping to be competitive at least tomorrow in their final. They have a tough task against them tomorrow, but look, they're in it, and they'll be hoping to do well in that. Talking about our youth system for Bruff earlier on, our under 14s had a great win in the Pan Munster last weekend in Thomond Park. Great day out for them. They got to play, on the main pitch in Thomond Park, so it was great for them. And our under 18s won a bowl as well there recently. Our under 16s were here last weekend, unlucky in a development bowl final, but gave a great account of themselves. So the pipeline is very much alive and well, as we said earlier on, with the Bruff youth system.
Right. There's going to be a double yellow card, it seems. And
I think he got the wrong man from Bruff there, to be honest.
I think what it is that Craig O'Connell's going to be given his 10 minutes for his inflictions, but I reckon it's going to be the afters from the Bruff man that's got him into the book. So it's going to be 14 versus 13 for the next couple of minutes before we go back to... 14 versus 13 for the next few minutes anyways.
Yeah, not like Mike Frawley to get involved in anything like that, so maybe, he probably felt a little bit aggrieved by what he saw there, but not like him to get involved. I'll be honest, I don't ever remember. I had him through underage rugby, never remember him getting a yellow card even. Let
me correct now as we see John Bateman come back onto the pitch. So it's going to be 14 versus 14 for the next 10 minutes. So Bruff have gone through that 10-minute spell, having just conceded the one try. They won't be too disappointed with that. We'll say if they have the chance for attack now, they can make amends to that loss now. They'll set their maul from the line out and we'll keep going. Now they're moving very well from this maul, it looks like. They're just going to be coming ashore that eventually goes to the ground. Now Bruff, they're going to stretch that pass to the 13. It's going to be a good line there. And the referee has nothing, looked big hit there from Dolphin, but it's going to continue moving for Bruff. They've got options both sides, but I think the better option will be left here, and that is what they go for. Good shoot from Brian O'Malley, put the pass under pressure. Bateman, fresh after his 10-minute rest, is going to be dancing around people. Eventually someone's going to get in and try to drag him to the ground. I think there's 3 or 4 Dolphin lads in there trying to get hands on the ball, are they? Bruff going to start keeping things up to jumper, I think, now, and just get some strong carries. Big test for Dolphin defence. It looks like Bruff might just break through here, though. And they're over!
Fionn Flanagan there with the try. Great tip on from Tom O'Dwyer. Kieran Cronin got 2 great carries there in the build up to that. First time we've seen Kieran on the ball really today. Big ball carrier. As I said, tip on there from Tom O'Dwyer to Flanagan, and he's a hard man to stop from there. Very, very hard man to stop from there.
This game is absolutely far from over anyways. A chance now to reduce the deficit to just 7 points.
Fionn Flanagan.
Fionn Flanagan, the try scorer for Bruff on this occasion. Chance here now for Collins to get his first chance kicking it into this wind, to get a feel for what it's going to be like for him for the next 40 minutes. And I thought for a moment he made it look easy, but unfortunately he's just put it a bit wide to that post, so it's going to remain Dolphin 19, Bruff 10.
Yeah, that try came off the line out here after the penalty. Killian Ray took over the throw on duty and threw a lovely ball to 2 and a great ball by Bruff to set up the attack.
And looks like we're going to see the first substitution of the day for Dolphin, as we see Sam Boyle enter the fray. Trying to see who's coming off, and looks like, he looks like he's come on too early. That he nearly brought us back up to 15, so he'll come on in a moment anyway, just to cover that gap in 12. For now, John Fitzgerald will fill that role anyways. Bruff with the ball, kicking behind, but unfortunately gone straight into touch. So we're going to go back towards that 10-metre line and Dolphin with the ball. There's been a definite lull in play. We can definitely feel it around here. It's gone a bit quieter. I suppose Dolphin really just aren't kicking on that little... I suppose they're just switching off for a little bit. We need to get him to crack on again. We're going to see Brian O'Mahony is the one who's going to make way, get himself a little bit of a rest. He's done very well today. He's always a good carrier. And Sam Boyle will come on to step into that 12 jersey just for the time being to help cover with that yellow card.
Gone back to the traditional line out here. Dolphin they're 5-man line out. I think previously we saw him going to full men, so looks like they're going to try and attack up the middle of the field.
Clean take there from Owen Sheehan, and Sam Boyle gets the ball in the hands immediately. Strong clear there from Drummy Bateman, and unfortunately Bateman did enough to get hands on the ball and it was knocked on then. So Bruff will get the scrum. Sam Boyle, it's good to see him getting games off the bench. I know he was lined out. He missed an awful big chunk at the start of the season. In fact, he was set to line up in the first game of the season against Bruff, but unfortunately picked up an Achilles injury in the warm-up, which led to Scott Sexton getting an unexpected debut, starting rather than off the bench. But he's been a great player, Sam Boyle. He once he came back from that injury, he was in a purple patch of form, got a couple of tries there when he was playing on the wing, and battling with the rest of the guys just to get his spot on the pitch. It was great to see some healthy competition and depth in the squad this year.
couple of big moments there from John Bateman. Good tackle there to force the knock on, and previous to that in attack before the try he had a couple of good contributions as well.
Bruff going blind on this occasion, trying to through the dummy, but incredible work right there from Conor Drummy, not letting him go, breaking off that scrum very early. And Bruff now isolated carry there is Bateman, I think, but they get enough just to secure that ruck, and he'll pick and go there from Collins himself, try to get the offload, but up to meet him is John Fitzgerald. Bruff just trying to bring something different to the game. Things are getting a little bit more open now with the two men from either side in the bin, or one man a piece I should say. Collins in that 10 channel this occasion, goes wide, bouncing off Ryan Foley there was number 5, Brendan Gleeson. Dolphin trying to put a bit of pressure on though, and Bruff just kind of settling down around this 10-metre channel, but they're going to go wide trying to get some extra yards. But a little dink inside has worked as he's stepped Richard Heath, but unfortunately he's been that very, very there from Sam Boyle. Gets the offload. Lively phase of play, this pass to play, this is from Bruff. Now, chance to go towards the wing again. They've been looking for that spread out wide of Bruff, just hoping there's a little mess in the middle, but Sam Boyle looks to have gotten hands on the ball, but not enough to steal it and not enough to win a penalty according to the referee. Drumming up to me for a fast tackle there again, and looks to be out of afters, and there's some words, and the referee's blown up his whistle.
Not sure what that was for there. He was unlucky with the turnover, but I think he was second man in, so the referee told him to leave it alone.
So we're hearing I think there's some comms from the officials to the referee, so I'm sure we're here if this is, I think there may have been some words, potentially. So we'll let them have their chat and we'll try figure out what it is afterwards. But as we have a chance, I'll just give you some score updates. The latest score, crucially up the top again, Monkstown still leading Middleton 21 points to 7, and Enniscorthy now leading 19-5 up ahead against Belfast. So things will be flipping around at the top two. Down below though, crucially, Omagh are level 14 all against Clonmel, and Ballyclare lead Tullamore 26-20. So there's a lot of fight left in all games, and both teams really going for, or all teams I should say, not both teams, really going for it. So be going down right to the wire, so we'll be sure to keep an eye on the table and the scores as things come in. Ryan Foley having some words with John Bateman. Don't know what's going on here, but looks like we're going to come back for something here, or the ref's going to continue chatting to his assistants. So we'll try to figure out what this is about later on and let you know. I suppose with a bit of a lull, I'll just take a moment to say a big thank you to our sponsors. We've had them going. You've seen them in the live stream today. You've seen them all around. We've got our Virgin Media logo going. Right. Nothing seems to be the result from the referee. It's going to be a scrum down. So I'll continue my thank yous, but the likes of Cumry Construction, Spick and Span Glanmire, many more, Virgin Media, Kiri's are huge sponsors for the club. They mean the absolute world to us to keep our club going, and we bring you these streams as well. We show you, we have our Buy Me a Coffee, so the link's been popped up. We'll put it up again before the end of the game, hopefully. If you wanted to take a little moment just to donate the price of a coffee or a price of a pint, whichever you feel, just to help us keep these live streams going. It's been great to see the support coming in from so far away around the world. So we like to keep these going to you, so if you wouldn't mind, it would be very, very appreciated. And a hi to Hannah in Sydney from Mother D, from the first woman of the first lady of the club, we should say. Now, put into the scrum from Bruff as we get going again. They're going to go blind again, and Drummy chasing around, and lovely, I suppose, the little mistake there, and it looks to be I think it was the 9 tried to go very fast and was really just trying to sell it against Ryan Foley, but he kept the eyes on him, and unfortunately he had the eyes on the player and not his own, and he threw the ball behind him. So Dolphin have to put into the line out. But it's interesting now, Seamus, I must say, it looks to be really becoming a battle of the minds. We're starting to see the guys just kind of get into their heads a little bit. I know there's a few little mental games going on. I'm sure back in your day you were involved in those as well. Owen Sheehan clean take of the line out. Dolphin set their maul, and it's getting good ground early on, but Ryan Foley will take control before it goes any further. Sam Boyle will carry this one in. Well shot up to meet him there was Aidan Carroll, I think, and Ryan Foley's going to go blind on his own. He'll bounce off the first, he'll keep going though. Dolphin just try to set some phase. They've got options left, got options right. They go right. Richard Heath will take that one on his own. Finn Cowg's there to seal that one off. Dalton there to support him as well. Cameron on the ball. He's going to dink that first man. He's going to get past him. Going going to go reverse on himself, and he's going to bounce one before he gets the offload, but I think that's gone forward. It's going to be play on for now anyways. Carolina with the ball in the hand. Now Bruff over that one. Will they get the penalty? Yes, they will. And they won't mind that ball potentially going forward because they're going to take the penalty.
Yeah, it looks like the referee missed that knock on Aidan Carroll with a big hit there. Said his first game of AIL rugby, but Bruff getting the rub of the green there, getting the penalty.
We're seeing some men get warmed to the bench. Another sub coming in from Bruff, number 3, Tom O'Dwyer, Kieran O'Dwyer, coming back into the frame.
He replaces the try scorer, Fionn Flanagan, and it looks like Frawley's getting ready to come in as well again. Yeah,
I think that we see Frawley's getting moving, Brian O'Mahony's getting moving on the bench, so Craig Collins keeping warm himself, so I reckon we're going to see some... We might come back to our full 15 for both sides now very shortly. For now, she's just like the first half. Owen Sheehan in that location tried to get his hands with the jump, but in going for the ball, he's disrupted the Bruff man, and he's taken the man in the air. You can't do that, and it's going to be a penalty to Bruff.
That was his namesake, John Sheehan, who hit the ground there. Again, look, just one of those things, contact in the air, and John hit the ground quite heavy there, so let's hope he's all right and he gets up. As I mentioned earlier on, he's been one of our... the engine room of our team all year. His fitness is off the charts, and we wouldn't like to be down him at this stage of the game.
Absolutely. We go back to our full 15 anyways, as Craig O'Connell returns to the fray and Sam Boyle will make way, and James Vaughan's going to be on, as Brian O'Mahony will stay off for a little bit of a longer rest.
Declan Moriarty's coming into the team there. Looks like John Sheehan is gone off, maybe just for a little bit of a rest. Let's hope John can get back into the game again in a while.
Very unfortunate one watching that one back. Owen Sheehan tried to replicate the Bruff incident from earlier on in the first half, tried to jump on his own, and Jacob Sheehan had the ball in his hands when Owen got to it. When he pulls for the ball, he's going to pull the man with him. And Bruff have the chance now with the line of 5 metres out.
Frawley back on throwing duties here after Killian Ray won. He's 2 from 2, so 100% for Killian. Well done.
Big defensive shift needed from Dolphin, but Bruff goes short, and they're going to have a chance here to go blind. But unfortunately, they're going to be driven into touch. A good defensive shift there from Dolphin, and they'll have the line to themselves this time.
Yeah, set play that has reaped rewards earlier on in the season for us, for Bruff, but Dolphin well awaked it there.
Looks like Jack Fox is getting ready to come into the fray for Dolphin as well. It's great to see Foxy getting a game. As we'll see him walk onto the pitch in a minute, we'll get back to that, because first Dolphin must win this ball, which they do, and now they must get it clear. James Vaughan on the ball this time. They're going to reverse that one, I think. They're going to go back towards Jordy immediately. They will, and Jordy will clear the lines and just bring a bit of safety to the play. Just edging that ball out. Now we see Jack Fox come back onto the pitch now. Great to see Fox come back. He made his comeback from injury finally last week against Oma. Brilliant player was Foxy. I think his last game was round 8. He was away for a while with injury, so it's great to see him back. And Finn Cowig, an incredible season he's had in his debut season for the club. A well-earned rest. Some great work with Finn Cowig.
Yeah, I think Bruff are enjoying their longest period of pressure here. The last few minutes, since the try, I think Bruff have really settled. It looked like there before half-time Dolphin might be set to take off. But good to see Bruff able to settle down, maybe tighten up the game a little bit, and as I said, get back into that bit of an arm wrestle, which probably suits us a little bit better.
And interestingly as well, we haven't seen Dolphin really make the most of the wind on their backs, but it definitely, I don't know, from up here anyways, you can feel a bit less wind here, but it's still out in that pitch when you look at the flags, so maybe it's not as strong or maybe not going the right direction, but Dolphin haven't made the most of it that you would have hoped they would have. Now, Bruff take that ball cleanly at the line out, and immediately that maul is sacked and cleanly, but I think they've still managed to set it. It's eventually brought to ground, and they're going to get advantage now for an illegal takedown. So that ball is somewhere, but it's going to be a penalty to Bruff for illegally brought down. Now we're going to go for the quick tap and go, unfortunately. It seems to be a bit... I don't know, it seems a bit confusing at this stage. Everyone's trying to be doing something, but nobody knows what's the actual call there.
Yeah, Tom Dwyer tried to go quick there, but referee didn't want to leave him, so, looks like we're going to kick to the corner here and maybe try and set them all again.
They'll go for the scrum, it seems.
Interesting. I don't think I've seen us apply that tactic during the season. I guess the boys must be feeling confident in the front row there that they, I think for most part each team has won their own scrum and both scrums have looked pretty settled. So let's see how it goes when the bodies now are starting to tire, I guess. So we'll see how this goes.
I think, Seamus, that's your first introduction to the commentator's curse. When you predict something's going to go one way, it never will. It'll always go the opposite.
Well, I'm looking at the rough front row here. They do look a little bit high for my liking, so let's see how this goes.
It's fast off the back, but it's not clean off the back, but it's going to be in the hands of number 12 here. He's brought to ground and Bruff around fast, try get with him in support. Now they're going to try put some pressure on again. It's going to be crucial here for the Dolphin defence to come out of here without conceding, just to try and regain control for them. But we'll see how that goes. A strong carry. Felt that hit from up here anyways, definitely. It's a loose knock onto hands. There's going to be a chance here. Oh, nearly into the hands of Scott Sexton. He had a great run 2 weeks ago, and unfortunately the ref not allowing any advantage there. It's going to give the knock on against Bruff, and Dolphin have to put into the scrum, and you have to say opportunity wasted really for Bruff there.
Yeah, look, good line spray speed there from Dolphin. We did identify in the first half, passing away from the camera here is very hard with that wind. Probably passes are probably getting held up a little bit more than we would be normal, and it looks like we haven't adjusted to that. But look, as same as Bruff did in the first half, the Dolphin line speed there put pressure on the Bruff receivers, and ultimately made Bruff make that mistake.
See Phil Elwood getting ready to come onto the pitch as well to make his, I believe, 17th appearance for the club. So, yeah, it'll be his 17th appearance for the club. He's had 2 starts this season with 4 sub-appearances. This will be his 5th, just 1 try to his name. We'll see him come on now in a minute at 16. But for now, Dolphin will just try and secure their scrum and get a nice platform going again. It was interesting there. Scott Sexton it was inches away from stealing that ball and running the pitch like he did against Clonmel just 2 weeks ago. Wouldn't have been as fancy with the little flick up, but he definitely would have been happy to run that one in. Darragh Sullivan also getting warm on the bench for Dolphin. Now, scrum time. It's been a bit cagey, that one going down. I'm going to have to get a reset. It's definitely become a bit of a cagier, slower affair in this second half. Not as fluid as you would have liked to, especially on a pitch like this. It's not been really pushed to its best capabilities, you could say, today.
Yeah, I think with a lot of changes from both sides now already, you're probably seeing, changes do tend to disrupt the flow of a game, and I think that may be impacting on the players. Again, both teams have probably struggled to come to terms with the wind, both passing and kicking. So, for Dolphin, they need to be, making something out of this to try and get up and get that bonus point score.
Absolutely. Now, Jordy on that ball, first receiver opts away from touch. There's a chance here if it works out with the bounce. Unfortunately not. A lovely little idea there from Dolphin though. Your wing has to hang back for that clearance kick, and rather than going long, they just tried that short one, and unfortunately the bounce didn't go in favour of Carl Waterman. But still, it's ground made. Just on the wrong side for Dolphins' consideration, that 10-metre line.
We
see 2 substitutions coming in here.
Mikey Cook is coming back in for Tom O'Dwyer. Tom O'Dwyer had really good year in the line out this year for us, big ball carrier. And Paul Collins comes off, and Ben Tucker is in on the back. I think that's probably Ben's second appearance this year, first season again of senior AIL rugby. So has been going well this year. Carried an injury there for the last few weeks, so I think today's his first game back in a while.
A big cheer there for a DB coming off as the day of his 100th appearance. It's Phil Elwood coming on in his place, and Conor Drummy as well had a great game, and Darragh Sullivan's gone in for him. He'll jump into the second row with Owen Sheen going to the back row. Now immediately Dolphin trying to get involved in that one. Foxy unable to. Bruff in possession of the ball now. It's been a real forwards game from them, off 9. But it looks to be trying to spread that ball a little bit more now. You have a chance here. Number 13 going for a little dink in behind. Who's there? The bounce going to go to him as well. He gets the pass away. Lovely bit of play there from Andrew O'Byrne. Bruff's in possession. They're going to go for another kick, but I don't know if there's really the right option. And Dolphin are going to have the line out.
Maybe not. I think Bruff probably had everyone on their feet there, so maybe holding on to the ball would have been a better idea.
I think just, again, we mentioned errors. I think they're just forcing things a little bit too much on that occasion anyways. Chance for Phil Elwood, his first throw of the day. We'll see what can be made now from this. Richie takes that one. It's gone clean. Dolphin will set them all now. Bruff in there to try and disrupt it, but a nice early push from Dolphin, and we'll see can they set a platform. Ryan Foley looking to go blind. He does so. Sucks in the first man, and Carl Waterman has a chance now. He's going to step inside where he's going to go. Little magic twinkle toes as Carl Waterman brings play up towards that 10-metre line. Beyond it again. Great bit of work there from Carl Waterman. Now Bruff kind of some lazy runners there, but not enough to disrupt play. Richard Heath takes that one in. Foley goes fast again to hands of Cameron Shoxey. A little shoot up there from Bruff stops that avenue. He'll go and take down on himself, and he'll bounce off that first man there, does Cameron. Foley, quick ball there again. John Fitz on it this time. He's got Jack Fox to support him, as is Richard Heaslip. Bring and play just inside on that 15-metre line towards the centre of the pitch. Dalton O'Shaughnessy this time. Takes 2 to bring him down. But he looks to be a handover from Bruff, and it's loose. And where's the ball?
Kieran Cronin there with a fantastic turnover.
It's in the hands of Bruff, man, as you say. There's a chance here and behind if they go for, but they're going to go for the run here. Fitzpatrick takes that carry in. Dolphin trying to disrupt it. And referee's whistle is gone, and it's going to be a penalty to Dolphin. Fast pass to play there. We haven't seen one of those in a while. Some energy really been brought to the game there in that one.
Yeah, I hate to repeat myself, but our breakdown work is probably not good enough today. We've turned over far too many balls like that in the ground today.
It's definitely, we're seeing a few more run-off runners and just not getting the support they need, really.
Great
You're
break.
opening yourself up to those opportunities when that happens, but it was Carl Waterman there.
Great break, very, very, looked like the break for the try, the Bruff try in the first half, fairly similar with the 9 connecting with the 14 on this wing, so has worked a treat for both teams today down this sideline.
You can really tell both teams have done their homework, because they've both kind of gone for a kicking game. They've both kind of gone to really exploit that blind side. And it's worked for both sides so far, and maybe not as well for Dolphin on the blind side as it has for Bruff, but there's still plenty of time to go for that anyways. A little score update from around the league. Right, Monkstown currently lead Middleton 20 points to 7. It's starting to run out of time now for Middleton. I know they've been a fan of late scores in that game, but they're going to need more than that at the way things are going. Clonmel and Omagh are currently level at 21 points apiece. That'll rule them out of going for promotion anyways for Clonmel. Enniscorthy leading Belfast Harlequins 24 points to 12. Looks like Enniscorthy are on their way for the title as things stand. And Ballyclare have the 5 points already wrapped up, we'll say, against Tullamore. 34 points to 20, they got their bonus point in hand. So as things stand, I think it's going to be Tullamore going down automatically and Bruff into that playoff spot. And I reckon, Omagh, sorry, what am I saying? Omagh going for the playoff spot.
Don't be giving me a heart attack like that.
Now, loose at the line out, and it's gone to the hands of Bruff.
Killian Ray with the breakaway there.
He's been very involved with Killian Ray since he came off the bench. Knows some man when he carries, and Bruff have a chance here at wide, but they're going to go for the boot, and it's going to give plenty of time now for Carl Waterman. And that kick, it could be perfect. It is perfect.
Andrew O'Byrne, take a bow. What a kick! That's his effort. His effort a little earlier went wrong, but he's more than after making up for it there. After a great run from Killian Ray, as you said, look, Killian has spent a lot of the season injured, so he's just been trying to manage his game time. Arms strapped up there, as you say, but been very involved since he came into the game.
Bruff have definitely been enjoying a more comfortable control of this game in the second half now with the 5-metre line. But I just want to make a little note, as you can see on the camera, the amount of people in the background there. It's great to see such a showing for a game like today, especially with the sun we have. Now it's overthrow, but it looks to be knocked on from Dolphin, so Bruff will still have another opportunity here. Where are they going to go for? They're going to go back inside now again. It's going to be brought to ground there. Is Andrew O'Byrne. Bruff going to go open again, and they have numbers blinded, but they're going to flash open. But a knock on there. It's going to go back for the original knock on from Dolphin. Unfortunately, Dalton tried to claim that one clean from the line. It didn't work, so Bruff will get another chance, a second bite of the cherry.
Yeah, I think Bruff lost a bit of shape there. Kieran got a little bit isolated there, so luckily we had the advantage there and come back for the scrum. So let's see, does the curse of the commentator come back to bite me again?
Fingers crossed.
You mentioned Killian Ray since he came in. Aidan Carroll since he came in is playing phenomenal stuff. Very physical player. Still only 18, 19 years of age, doing his leaving cert this year. Fantastic to see such young players coming through and having a big impact on the game when they come in.
Not only is it great for the club, but it's just great for the league and the sport in general across the country. You have young players stepping up and meeting the mark immediately. He'll be one to keep an eye on. Strong scrum there from Bruff, and they're going to go off 9, and the flick goes beautifully well there. Just kept in play, or kept in hand, I should say. They're going to go back blind again. It's been a fan from both sides today. Dolphin is really trying to keep this up. Crucial moment of defence now for Dolphin. Important not to concede a penalty or make any mistake here. Just keep that pressure on, and they do so. And Bateman's on the back foot there. Great bit of work there from Dolphin. And Bruff on a bit of a one-off carry here. Can they get hands in this ruck and try to disrupt it? Jack Fox trying to do his best, but advantage going to be here for not rolling away, I think. Or for an offside, we'll see. There's a free play for Bruff now. What will they make of this? It's slow ball coming back, so the referee's going to give the penalty.
Yeah, Bruff probably went wide too early there with a lot of players on the ground tied up. Probably could have done with doing a few pick and goes or something there just to tie in the Dolphin defence. Dolphin were never going to be broken down there. Not with a one-off carry like that anyway.
Time off now for a man down. I think the referee's going to have a little word with Craig O'Connell. I wonder, is that just... I don't think it's going to be a warning, but I reckon it might just be for Jack Fox. He put in a big hit there. It was just a little bit... I won't say late, but it was right on time. Right, our clock now currently reading 70 minutes with no stoppages, so I reckon there's still maybe about 15 or so minutes to go in the second half.
Yeah, I think, look, Bruff will be very happy with this performance today, where we're, different sides of the league, but as we mentioned at the start of the game, the league has been very tight. We've seen 7 draws across the league all season. I think you mentioned that's more than all the other divisions put
combined,
together.
I think so. I'm not going to quote myself on that one anyways, but I'll say I hope it is. I'm hoping right in that one. I'll blame our statistician if I'm wrong.
Kieran Cronin here with the tap.
Something different from Bruff today now. We haven't seen this at all now. A big chance here. Dolphin to meet him very fast. Now Bruff will go towards the post now. They go infield. The chance to reversal again. No, they're going to stay in the hands of Ray. He's brought down. Dolphin trying to get hands in just to disrupt as much as they can. They leave it though. Bruff back, left again, and Craig Conlon, it's a big hit with the tackle, it's loose. Where's the ball going to come in? Now it's deemed as a knock-on in the tackle.
Don't think
and
the
there's
Dolphin
some very
crowd
unhappy
like that.
people from the Dolphin side of things. I reckon it was part of the tackle that was knocked on rather than a knock-on in the tackle, but referee's call is referee's call, and Bruff will have to put into the scrum. It's hard to avoid the little bit. I reckon, I'm getting some words here, I reckon it was off the shoulder, so I think it was part of the tackle, but referees having a few discussions on the sideline. Now Bruff, a little switcheroo going here. John Bateman, the ball is a little half gap here, and number 12 is going to get that ball now. Taking the ground very well there from Ryan Foley. Brilliant work just to keep him out. Bruff with a chance, you're going to go blind again. Ray on it again, but Dolphin up to meet him fast. Not making any yards there. Bruff coming around the corner again. Good line, he's going to make some yards, another metre or two. Now, just 3 metres short there. Dolphin on that ball, are they? And they've won the penalty. Phenomenal work there from James Vaughan. Crucial defending. That's going to be a very important part of this game.
Yeah, I think it was Mike Cook that got isolated there on the ground, ran a great line, took a great ball, but, again, breakdown, you got to win those battles. If you're not winning those battles, it's going to cost you scores in the long run.
Could be a huge momentum shifter, especially with a kick like that from Jordan Soley. And we're going to see Sam Boyle come back into the fray again. And looks like... I think is that Darragh Buckley going to be making his way. Good, not as active as he would have wanted to be today, Darragh Bucks, but an incredible player. I mentioned the young guys. Came through from the 20s. He still is a 20s player this year. Started every single game this season for the club. One of just 2 players to do so. 5 tries to his name for the season. He'd be very, very happy with that one, I'd say. Now, clean take from Dolphin. They're going to go for them all. They've set it strong and they're making an early shove here. What can they do? Bring it up towards that 10 metre line. They've made a good 5 metres and it's moving fast now. Picking up a bit of pace. We've gotten 10 metres now. They're going to keep going towards this halfway line. Referee's happy for them to keep going. We're going just beyond the halfway now. Ball goes towards the back. Craig O'Connell's going to bounce off that first man. Sent him straight and the referee has stopped it. And I think the referee had no choice but to stop it there because that hit was so strong that he may have been a risk of a head injury there.
Yeah, a lot of bravery shown there by Connor. I guess you got to be brave when you're coming up against the big man. They're like Craig O'Connell. He's a big man and very dangerous in tight quarters like that. But Connor, never shies away from it. Good tackle take and, not quite stopping him dead, but being a road bump anyway at least.
So Dolphin will get put into the scrum. On halfway, just starting to build I suppose not enough to stop the momentum, but they're just trying to build a bit of their own now. I think it was a crucial moment, was that penalty won by James Vaughan. They'll try to build on that now. And free kick's going to go in favour of Dolphin here. So they're going to go fast as Richie Heath. He's going to try to take this on himself. Calls of Bruff not being 10, but it's going to play on. Fastball there from Ryan Foley into James Vaughan. Up to meet on our Bruff though. He's going to wrap round and trying to get that ball. It's been ripped beautifully well from Bruff here, and they're going to go for the boot. Nobody there now. Carl Waterman's going to have a little bit of time. What's he going to do with it? He's going to go for the boot himself. Brings it along. No one on the chase now but himself is Carl, so a chance to go for a little reversal here, Bruff. Bateman's going to step inside, but unfortunately he falls down before he can get the ball away. It's going to be loose, but he's hit the referee, and I reckon that could be put into the scrum in Bruff's favour this time.
Yeah, it actually happened to us against last week against Monkstown in the last couple of minutes of the game. Referee got in the way when it looked like Bruff were actually going to turn the ball over against Monkstown. It ultimately led to Monkstown getting a penalty a couple of phases after and kicking the winner. So, look, great carry there back by Bateman again. I think 10 has really suited him today. He's shown some great footwork at the line and shows some good control as well. His running back has been excellent as well. Any kick chase return.
As we see there, John Fitz getting his well-deserved applause as he makes way after another phenomenal effort from him, as always. And Brian O'Mahony will come back on. So we'll have some switching arms going in that Dolphin pack. I think it's going to be Owen Sheen and James Vaughan in the back row at flanker, with Richie Heath moving to the A position, and Brian O'Mahony and Darrell Sullivan now will go into the second rows.
Mark Kennedy has gone in number 8 for Bruff. Killian Ray has come off there. Looks like his arm is injured again, so hopefully it's not too serious.
And Bruff are going to take the penalty from this. That's a huge shift in momentum. Not one that Dolphin would have wanted, but every decision at this stage is going to be absolutely crucial to the way this game is going to finish as time runs out. Very much still in it, Bruff. Just 9 points, the difference between the two teams. Most of this game has been played in the Dolphin half, which isn't what we've liked. And we see another one now as Dalton O'Shaughnessy makes way after Troy scoring game from him. Phenomenal work from Dalton, and DB will come back on to finish out the 80, I imagine, to finish out the game, we'll say, for the 100, and hopefully he'll see it out with the win.
Such as the wind, I'm not sure either wingers on the far side have actually touched the ball in the second half. If they have, it's been very, very little.
They're really being forced to work off the ball. It's been very much in this corner, has things. An overthrow there now to the back, and Bruffer ones with the hands on it, but I think Dolphin got in, but not enough, and that is a harsh one. I thought Jack Fox out in there legally, but the ref says no, and it's going to be a penalty to Bruff, and another chance for him to nudge further towards that Dolphin line out for another line out. He's going to find his touch, and I think the crucial thing you can tell with the wind is that both 10s are really not pushing that 5 metre line, because there's a risk that if they do, they could actually hit it dead. Come on, Dolphin! I'm just getting we're getting some reports of some score updates, so I'll bring you some crucial information coming in a couple of minutes. I think they're just discussing some potential permutations for the playoffs. Now, clean take at 2. We haven't seen much of 2 with this today for the line out, but Bruff taking that one in, and they're going to build them all of their own. As it's been said, it's twisting, but it's still moving, and it looks to be good so far. Where is it going to be? Dolphin have come around. They're moving. It's going to go to ground now, and some brilliant work there from Dolphin. Bruff have brought it in, and Dolphin going to have to put into the scrum.
It was Mikey Cook there with the take at the front of the line-up, but unfortunately we couldn't. It looks like Dolphin got hands on the ball there and were able to work their way into position to take the ball.
And some crucial information just for the playoff, actually. We'll let you know, currently in Division 2B, Sligo are leading UL Bows. Bows going for the playoff spot, but they're currently trail Sligo 12 points to 8. And that means, as things stands, Galwegians, who are also going for a playoff spot, who lead Scaries 39 points to 7, means Scaries will be the one in the playoff coming down. So we'll just keep an eye on that one, and we'll try to give you the best as we can. So as things stand, I reckon it's going to be, I think we're going to have a Dolphin Middleton semi-final, and the other side will be Ballyclare versus Scaries. So we'll see how this game finishes first, but Dolphin are going to go back, and Jordy's going to boot that ball down the park as much as he can, and he does. Not quite as far as the 22, but just enough to give Dolphin a bit of breathing room but Bruff will have another chance to set their maul again. We'll see how Dolphin can defend against this one on this occasion.
Yeah, I think that wind has turned a bit in Bruff's favour, and you can see it with the relief kicks from Dolphin. They're not quite getting the distance on it, and it's very much working in Bruff's favour at the moment.
It's blowing in all sorts, because if you look over to our right now, we can see the Sunday as well flag blowing to our right, but if we look into it, the flags on the pitch, most importantly, are really blowing in towards our clubhouse, in towards that corner. Now, disruption there, but not cleanly, so it's still going to come back towards Bruff. It's going to be a slower ball on this occasion, but they're going to be well set up now. Dolphin equally matched to meet them in defence, trying to get involved and disrupt things as much as they can at the breakdown. Bruff happened to go wide now. Scott Sexton and Cameron Shoxey, two very similar haircuts. The two men doing their best to try and disrupt things. Referee's hand out for an advantage. I reckon that could be for not releasing, but we'll see what he says in a minute. Seems a bit harsh, but we'll see now. Bruff really trying to work hard, and then found a break at the fringes here, and it's going to be over for a try for Bruff.
Sean Kilbridge, again, great break. He's been sniping all day. Good carry from Declan Moriarty there off the advantage. It was Andrew Byrne who had been held up. As you said, it looked a little bit harsh from the referee as we look at the replay and here now on the screen.
Sorry to interrupt here, but it's going to be a yellow card, I think, to Jack Fox as well.
Yeah, as we said, Kilbridge here with the snipe. He's been doing it all year and been very successful at it, and they'll Bruff will be delighted with that score now. John Bateman come up next with the conversion.
Momentum definitely going towards Bruff here. We can see it was just on the fringes, Bruff working really hard, but I think, Jack Fox's day is done. He's been given a yellow card. I believe it was for not rolling away, and I think it must be persistent fouling, but it seems very, very harsh, especially given that Bruff have gotten the try. But Dolphin are going to have to see out this man with just 14 at this game with 14 men. And very, very rare one to see a miss from that far out. But it's going to say Dolphin 19, Bruff 15. Almost a carbon copy of the reverse fixture at the beginning of the season. But we're going to see this one out now. With Dolphin will be man down, so it's going to be crucial they get back up and get a score and just cement their status and really make sure they get this win. Otherwise, they're at risk of falling out of promotion or in the playoff. They go deep on this occasion. Unfortunately, Bruff slipping. Dolphin are going to be over that one fast. See what they can do with this. Bruff now will have to set a phase before they try to get an exit of their own. They've been much more happy and comfortable in the second half. Wind working their way, and again, no one on the fringes. They're going to go for a little quick ball here, and they're going to try a little dink through, and it's worked. Dolphin over that one though, and it's gone back in favour of Bruff. Chance here out wide for Bruff if they can get it. Bateman gives the ball out. Go for another dink, a little short one. Jordy's going to be on that one. He's going to take that one in cleanly, and he's going to just unfortunately not beat that first man. Dolphin in the possession of the ball. Just shy of that 10-metre line. Craig O'Connell now. He's going to carry that one, and he puts his head down. He really carries that one through. Back door towards Darragh Sullivan for a carry. He's isolated here though, but it's going to be a penalty for a high tackle. And a real break that Dolphin are going to need here. Or it looks to be a no-arms tackle, I should say. Or an off-the-ball tackle, I should say. Now, Jordy's going to try and nudge us towards the corner, and a fourth try bonus point is going to be absolutely crucial for Dolphin here just to make sure of this win.
Interesting to see if Dolphin go for the full line out here or revert back to the 5 men. Let's see what they do. They're having a good chat about it there now on the 10-metre line before they go up.
Absolutely. It's going to be, we'll see what they'll do. Will they go for that maul? It's been working for them as the game has gone on. They're getting a good early shove, but we'll see now. Interestingly, Phil Elwood's going to stay on top of the throwing duties. He's been ever since he's come on, he's taken over DB's switch to prop. And it looks to be that they're going for the full man, our Dolphin. Well, as much as we can with a full man with a man down. Now they've taken it. We're going to walk it with the maul. It's moving slowly, but they've got that one set early and set well. It's moving, but Bruff have done enough to disrupt it. It's gone down now. It's secured, I think, and it's there for Ryan Foley. He goes right towards Cameron Shoxey. They're going to go for a little back door for Carl Waterman this time. He beats one. He brings Dolphin inside that 22-metre line. Going around the corner fast now. James Vaughan on the ball this time. Again, just hovering around that 22-metre line, our Dolphin. Looking for a hole, looking for a gap. Richie Heaslip, can he find it? He can't, no. He's brought to ground. Cameron Shoxey, Craig Connors on his shoulder. Lovely work with the offload. Cameron Shoxey, is he going to be through? No. Great work with the offload from Craig O'Connell. And Cameron's still working, still on the ball. He's eventually brought to ground. Brian O'Mahony now with the tip on towards Jordy. He's going to go wide. Chance here wide for Owen Sheehan. Here's a man with him, Sam Boyle. He doesn't need him, does he? He beats one. Dolphin 5 metres out now. Going fast towards Craig O'Connell. And Craig O'Connell is over! The crucial try bonus point has been secured. And crucially, it's going to be Craig O'Connell. No tries in the last 5, but he's now matched the record of James Collin and John O'Mahony for 10 tries in a season.
Yeah, great continuity there from Dolphin. Recycle really quick. Bruff line speed was good, but Dolphin eventually got around the edge of the defence there.
Absolutely, he spotted it. He was eyeing that one up, and he ran through, and no one was going to stop him from that far out. He drove through as much as he could, and he got there with the reach, and I think that might just be it secured for Dolphin.
Yeah, looks like are we on time?
I think we could be up for time now, all right. I think that may be our last action, but we'll wait and see for the referee's whistle. Unfortunately, doesn't add the extras, but that's going to be a bonus point win here for Dolphin in Virgin Media Park. That guarantees that Dolphin are going to be in the promotion playoff semi-finals. They're going to match. We'll see now. We'll have to check our score, see if it's going to be second place or not. But the playoff semi-finals, they've just done greatly enough to match our J2s this season. Right, so full time here at Virgin Media Park. I'm going to say big thanks to Seamus for his incredible work. Debut on the comms, many debutants on the pitch, but no one as good as him. It's going to finish here. Dolphin 24, Bruff 15, an incredible game. But we'll stay on the comms just for a couple of minutes, just so we try and work out our permutations. So no change we're seeing. So as things stand, Enniscorthy lead Belfast Harlequins 29 points to 19. As on the other side of things, Monkstown still lead Middleton 21-7. There's been some changes on that, so we don't know if that's accurate or not. But as things stand, Enniscorthy have won the 2C league. That means it's going to be Dolphin versus Middleton for the playoff semi-final in second and third spots. And I believe it's going to be Skerries versus Ballyclare. And John, I think we're going to leave it at that because that's going to be the best we're going to get. So I'm going to say a big thank you to everyone. A big thanks to everyone who's been watching the games. A big thanks to the Paul and to Relive It for all the support. If you want to offer us a bit of support, there's a QR code up on screen now to give us a donation for the price of a coffee. But for now, from me and from the club for this season, I want to say a big thank you to everyone. And just a big thank you and a great day, and we'll continue on afterwards in the club.